Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a flip through of my 2023 reading journal as well as my January spreads. So I don't do many bullet journaling, reading journal type videos on my channel, but I love my reading journal. It is like one of my favorite things in the entire world. I love setting it up every month. I love starting a new one at the beginning of each year. And so I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a flip through of the spreads because I really don't enjoy filming like plan with me's. I find them way too stressful to film, and my spreads do take me a very long time to fill out. I hope you guys are excited for this video, and let's just get right on into the flip through. Okay, so this is my bullet journal for 2023. I just buy the Artist Loft journals from Michaels. So this year I got this slate blue color, and then I put this Powell sticker in the middle. I have like sticker commitment issues, so it took me a really long time to decide on what sticker I wanted to put on the front and where I wanted to put it. But Powell's is my favorite bookstore. It's in Portland, Oregon, and it's just my absolute favorite, and I've had this sticker for years. So I thought, why not? It looks cute. It goes with like the kind of blue theme of this journal, so I thought it would look really cute there, and I'm really happy with it. So yeah, let's just go on inside. So at the beginning of the journal there's just like the front page here, and then this one has like an index, kind of a couple of pages, which my journal last year didn't, so I don't know why this one has it. It seems pretty inconsistent when they decide to put these in there or not, but I don't use these pages, so I just skip right on past them. Here is my title page for my 2023 spreads. So I decided to go with like a bookish kind of, not a library theme, but just kind of thinking about books and wanting to do maybe like a home library kind of theme almost. So we have a book page right here that I ripped out with like a parchment kind of paper looking color, I don't know, and I just used number stamps to spell out 2023, and I drew this really cute armchair right here and just kind of did like a home library setup. So I have a bookshelf filled with just a bunch of blue books. My color scheme for these spreads is definitely more along the blue side. I usually try to match it to whatever color my journal is for the year. I just really like how this came out. I like the rug that's here, and I do really like how the blue colors all came together with like this little throw blanket and everything. I think it's really, really cute, and I think this is actually like the most creative I've gotten with like a title page. Normally I just like do like a more scrapbooky kind of style with like different scrapbook paper, but I actually decided to draw one out this year, and I'm really happy with it. Also, any drawings that are in my bullet journal were inspired from images I saw on Pinterest, so none of these are necessarily my drawings. I just kind of changed like the color schemes of things, but I found these images on Pinterest. And then we have my books read spread. So this is a staple in my reading journals. I do this every single year. So basically I just draw 5 shelves on each page and fill it up with books of varying sizes. I think this fits like 130 books, maybe something along the lines of that, so that's plenty of room for me to put the books that I read every single year. So far I've only read one book, so I'm not doing so hot so far this year, but I've read one book, and I do kind of color code the books as well. So this year I'm using the mild liner in this blue color for physical reads, and then I'm using one of these pens my mom had, which is a Zig memory system. I have no idea. It's a scroll and brush, so I use the brush side. It's like this cool like periwinkle color almost, and I'm going to be using these for when I read audiobooks, and then sometimes I do read unpublished manuscripts from my writing friends, and so those I just leave white. But this is always one of my absolute favorite spreads. I love filling this spread in after I read a book. So then we have my reading challenge, and this looks different to how I normally do it, but my reading challenge is 100 books for the year. So normally what I do is I don't put a title, and I just fill this entire page up with the 100 squares, but this year I wanted to kind of do something different. So usually the 100 book is like around this area, and then I put a little box down here to say what day I completed the challenge on, but I found that I didn't really like that anymore. I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I split it up into these 2 pages, officially put a reading challenge title up at the top. So I do have my date completed on a box down here because I do like to see at what point in the year I finished the challenge, because it does vary from year to year and I find it really interesting. But I found myself being annoyed that I didn't know like the total number of books that I had read. I didn't really have a spot to write that, so I would constantly have to go back to this spread and kind of find where my 100th book was and then just count how many I had read after that, and it became quite tedious because I was constantly curious as to how many books I was reading. So I decided to add a little box here for my total total number of books read, and I'm really excited to fill this one out at the end of the year. And then just to kind of fill up the empty space, I drew another armchair, and I am obsessed with this one. I love the color of it. I love the little pillow right there. I think it looks really, really cute. So I'm super pleased with this spread, and I'm really happy with the changes that I made for this year. I did try to make some changes this year. I'm trying to get a little bit more creative, a little bit different, because I find myself getting quite stuck with what I do. I just find something that I like doing and I just keep doing it, and then it feels kind of stale after a while. So I'm glad that I changed this up this year. And then we have my reading goals on this side, as well as my book bingo. So my reading goals for this year, because I'm not going to make a video about it or anything, but I want to read 100 books. I want to read my 23 books in 2023, which I will show in a second. I also plan on making a video for this, so you guys will get like a little sneak peek. I also like to do read 5 2022 releases, so I always put a goal like this where I read 5 releases from the previous year, because there are always new releases that I don't get to, as well as read 5 2023 releases. Complete 5 series is a new one that I put on this year. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to add some more reading goals. And then I put keep up with the besties and books, a book club, because this is my book club with my friend Alyssa, and I really want to do it for the entire year. So I thought if I put it as a goal on here, it would motivate us to keep up with it. So I'm really excited about that. And then I did this cute little illustration of a cat sleeping on a stack of books, and I am absolutely obsessed with this one. And I almost didn't like it when it was just like penciled in, and then once I colored it in, I was obsessed with it. Like, Kitty is so cute. And then I always do a book bingo, varying what is in the bingo spaces every single year, but I do have like a few staples. So there are things on here like reread a book, which isn't really a challenge for me because I typically reread a lot. As you can see, that's the only one I've completed, but I have things like debut novel, read a library book, read a 2023 release, read a standalone, read a fantasy, things like that. And I have like some rules for this. So besides the reread a book space, I try not to use rereads to fill in these squares. I try to only do new books to me, and I also try to only do 1 bingo square per book. So even if a book can complete 3 or 4 bingo spaces, I only fill in 1 of the boxes. So it's just kind of a way to like make this last longer throughout the year. Otherwise, I'm sure I could fill it out quite early on, but I really do love using this spread. And then we have my 23 in 2023. So normally what I do is I have like a stack of books that I will draw, and I'll just write in the titles and then color it in as I read them. But I wanted a bit more of a visual TBR this year, and I wanted to challenge myself to do the 23 in 2023, which is something that people do every single year, and I thought it'd be quite fun. So this is a sneak peek into all of the books that I want to do, but I just printed them all out, put little boxes next to them that I will color in when I read them. But I'm really excited about all of these books, and I'm excited to talk about them in a video with you guys very, very soon. And then we have my anticipated releases, and I kind of already have an idea of how I want to change this up next year, but this is what it looks like this year. If there are any blank spaces, it means that the cover hasn't been released yet. This one's for Heartstopper Volume 5. That's apparently supposed to come out in February, but I'm kind of feeling like that's not happening because there's been no cover, like nothing about it, so I have no idea if that's actually coming out. But I have a lot of fun books on here, like Chain of Thorns and Happy Place by Emily Henry, You Don't Have a Shot by Raquel Marie. So I fill in the little boxes next to them, not when they come out, but when I read them, just to kind of see how many new releases every year I am reading. So I have this page full of books I'm really anticipating, as well as this page. So I do have a lot of empty spots here because the covers were not released as I was creating these spreads. So there are a couple here that now do have covers, but this is what it looks like for now. So just ignore those ones because it looks kind of weird, but I'm very excited for these books as well. So then for this one, we have my Buzzwordathon spread and my series to read. So originally the series to read was going to be a full spread, but then I realized there weren't that many series that I wanted to get to, so I had to fill up this page with something else. So I decided to try the Buzzwordathon this year. It's a year-long readathon that Books and Lala hosts, where every month you have like a buzzword that you should find in the title, and you have to like read a book that follows that every single month. So I decided to do it a little bit differently, just adjust it to work for me because I don't want to feel like boxed in with this. So I did put all of the challenges down, all the words, but I'm not going to be associating them with a specific month. So there's a challenge where you have to find emotions in the title, like some sort of emotion, so happy, sad, whatever, but I'm not going to be reading that in any month. So if it's February and I read a book with emotions in the title, then I'm going to just mark that in. So I just did like side profiles of books, and I'm going to write in the pages what book I read for them. Just thought it'd be a fun little challenge to try. I'm not gonna like try too hard at this, honestly. I don't mind if I don't complete this one. And then we do have my series to read. So I have rereads on here, new series, series, all sorts of things. So I kind of copied what I did in my books read spread and just drew like little shelves with the books on top. So the dark blue ones are colored in because I read them previously and I don't want to read them again this year. So I'll talk about that in a second. But we have Heartstopper here. So I have read volumes 1 through 4, but I do plan on rereading them before the 5th volume comes out. So that's why I didn't color those ones in. Then we have Shatter Me. So I reread the first 3 books last year and I want to reread the last 3 this year. So that's why I colored these ones in, because I don't plan on rereading them this year. Same with the Mortal Instruments. I was following along with the Shadowhunter read along that Lisa, Casey, and Darian are hosting, but I fell behind and never finished book 6 last year. So I will be reading book 6 at some point this year. Then we have A Darker Shade of Magic, which I have read, but I want to reread it before the first Threads of Power book comes out. Then we have Six of Crows, which I read the first book for last year. Then we have The Last Hours by Cassandra Clare, which again I have read the first 2, but I'm going to be rereading them. And then we have Blood Like Magic by Lizelle Sambury, which again I have read the first book, but I will be rereading it. So I really like this. I like having the numbers in the spines. I think it's really cute, and I'm really excited about this one. Just kind of keeping track of my series. I think it'll be a lot of fun. These aren't like all the series that I'm like in the middle of or that I need to read. These are just the ones that I want to kind of prioritize this year and pay attention to. And then here is my besties and books spread, and I'm actually obsessed with this one. I didn't quite know how I wanted to go about tracking our book picks every single month, but then I came up with this idea and I'm obsessed with it. So I just put the title Besties and Books and I put our logo in the middle. I just cut it out because normally it's a square, but that didn't fit anywhere. So I cut it out and it looks really cute right there in the middle. So I basically just drew a book for each month, and each month I will be putting the book cover into the book cover. So our January book is Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry, and I'm super excited about this one. Our live show for this, I believe, is going to be in the very beginning of February, I think like day 2 or something. So that's going to be really fun and exciting. So you guys still have time to read this book with us if you would like to. But yeah, I think this is going to look so nice at the end of the year. I'm really excited about it. And then we have my book bracket, which is another new spread to this year. So basically every month I'm just going to put my favorite book of that month until it narrows down at the end of the year into what's supposed to be my favorite book of the year. I've been having a lot of trouble the last couple of years picking my favorite books, so I thought that this would be a good way to kind of see what I was loving every month, see which ones specifically make it into like these rounds. So I'm hoping that this will be a good way to help me at the end of the year figure out my favorite books. And I also thought it would just be like a fun thing to try. So I'm absolutely obsessed with how this looks like. So every month I'm just going to write in the boxes what my favorite book is, and I'm very excited to see how this looks at the end of the year and to see how it compares to what my actual favorite books of the year end up being. And then we have my 2023 in review, which looks pretty similar to how I did it last year. So I just have spots for every single month for physical reads, audiobooks, new to me books, rereads, and total. So the new to me books wasn't here last year, but I found I wanted to have like a spot for it because I had a spot for rereads. So it kind of just made sense. And I'm really happy with this one. I'm super excited to start filling it in once the month is over. But I really love these. I love how I did the stamp letters on the sides there. I'm just really happy with this one. And then we have my writing goals, which I'm not really gonna go over too much. I'm actually gonna blur some of it out, but basically I want to do a lot of revising this year, and I would like to start a new project potentially. And I just did like a little doodle of some books down there, which I think is really cute. But now we can quickly go through my January spreads. I was originally gonna do a winter theme, but then I realized I did a blue theme for the beginning of the year, so I didn't really want to have 2 blue themes next to each other. So I decided to go for a record player theme instead, and I did like kind of like a red, pink, corally kind of color scheme. So I've basically just been really into vinyl records recently, so I thought this would be a fun spread to try. And it actually came out a lot better than I thought it would. I didn't know if I'd be able to draw record players, but turns out I can, so that's fun. So I just did like some calligraphy script writing for the titles with like some music notes everywhere. These music notes are a staple in these spreads. And then I just have a suitcase player, and I think it is so pretty. And then we have my calendar month at a glance spread, and I'm obsessed with this one. I really love the shadow that I did on the end. I think it just really makes it pop in front of all the records. So I just have a bunch of records here, and I love how I colored the like middle circle with like different colors. I think it turned out really nice. And again, music notes are a staple throughout the spread. And I usually use this spread to mark down what videos I'm uploading. So these are the 2 videos that I've uploaded so far this month. I've not been consistent with uploading recently, and I apologize for that. that. And then I sometimes will keep track of like bookish related things I have going on. So if I have any bookish events happening, I will write them down in here as well. I don't really put book releases in here, and I don't really know why. Maybe I should, because sometimes I put like music releases in here. So you think I would also put book releases? I don't know. So maybe I'll start doing that. But I really like the way this one came out. And then this is another staple. So we have my days read and days written spreads. Clearly I'm not doing so hot on the days written, but I wasn't really planning on writing much this month anyway. But yeah, my reading has also been a little sporadic. I'm filming this on the 24th, so I had a good little streak going on there. But yeah, so I just did vinyl records along the bottom, and I think it looks really pretty. I kept the music notes to adjust the top half, and I really like the way that it looks. I love doing these spreads. They're super helpful. I love seeing the tracking of how many days I read and how many days I write. So then we have my January TBR on this page. Again, just vinyl records on the bottom, which I think look really cute. So again, I've only read one book so far this month, and I'm definitely not going to be able to complete this TBR, but I am hoping to get to some of them. So I'm hoping to still get to Winter by Marissa Meyer, as well as the Wires and Nerve graphic novels. And then I think the only other book I'll have time for is Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry. So I won't be able to get to Chain of Gold or Chain of Iron this month, but hopefully at the beginning of next month I will be able to. And then we have my monthly favorites. So I keep track of my favorite books throughout the month, my favorite songs. Currently I'm loving Flowers by Miley Cyrus, and then movies and TV shows. Currently obsessed with Ginny and Georgia. I watched both seasons this month and really love it. I have an illustration of a record player down here. I used to keep track of my favorite YouTube videos that I was uploading, but I really didn't like it anymore, so I stopped doing that at some point last year, and I've yet to find like a fourth thing to fill out this spot. So I don't know if I ever will, because these do seem to be like the main things I want to keep track of. So for now, this is how I'm doing it, and I'm just filling the extra space with a drawing, but I do really love the way that this one came out. And then we have my books read spread. So I do fill this one in at the end of each month, just so I don't run out of space, because I have done that before. So this doesn't get filled out till the end of the month, but I just do have the records at the bottom. And then I have writing goals over here, which I will be blurring that out. But I did this little record setup here, which I think is so cute. So it's a little shelf with the record player. I love the record player in this color. It looks so pretty with a little plant, and then just some records right there, and I think it's so cute. And yeah, those are all of my spreads. So that was the flip through of my 2023 reading journal spreads, as well as my January spreads. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a huge thumbs up. Comment down below and let me know if you guys have a reading journal. I think they are so much fun, so I would love to know how many of you keep a reading journal as well. Subscribe down below if you have not yet already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!